are showing up ahead of the LA28 Olympic sales. First, let's get to Maria with a check on the forecast. Good morning.
And our weather now, just great advertisement, right? For everybody coming here to check it out when it does happen. We've got the offshore flow with us. The winds are not too bad right now, but it is breezy in the usual wind-prone areas, parts of Burbank, 5, even 10-mile-per-hour winds in Corona, Ontario. Definitely the offshore flows clearing us out, so we don't have much in the way of cloud cover at all. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures warming up. It's already 60 degrees now in Ontario. Still on the cooler side in Palmdale, 34. 51 in Burbank, 54 in Santa Monica. Look at Oxnard, 67 degrees. That is the result of compressional warming and downslope warming from this offshore flow. 79 in our desert communities, mild there. 67 in the high desert to 57 eventually up into Big Bear. 80 degrees for downtown. That is well above the average of 68. Mid to upper 70s in the valleys and the Inland Empire to those low mid 70s at our coastline. I'll show you the extended outlook, tell you how long we're expecting this weather pattern to last in just a few moments. But first, let's head back up to Stu in Sky Fox. He's been watching the freeways and even that shutdown on the 101. I think it's just opened up, Stu. I'm not 100% sure, but where are you right now?
Hey, good morning, Maria. Yes, let's mention that problem in the Hollywood area. If it is actually opened up some lanes down there, it's going to be there for a while. That's going to be northbound 101 in the Hollywood area. Now, it's northbound. That's usually the one that's moving very well. Right at Vermont, big crash. They had a full closure out there. Where we are right now, this is going to be 101 Tarzana. And you know what? It is definitely
Major fire has gutted a partially vacant Winnetka office building, injuring one person.
Gigi Graciette is live there with an update on this. Gigi.
And that's right, and the work continues here at this office complex. This is on Sherman Way, just west of Winnetka. In Winnetka, you see LA City Fire continuing to put water on many, many hot spots. And also you see there where the roof of the building collapsed, making this an extremely dangerous firefight for our LA City firefighters. Now let's take a look at the video. The fire broke out just after 5 o'clock this morning. LA City Fire quickly declaring it a major emergency, going on defensive mode because it was simply too dangerous to go into the building because that roof almost immediately collapsed. Now, we're told that this office complex has been empty. We've been speaking to neighbors because the big concern here is that 10 feet away, according to LA City Fire, is a large apartment complex. So firefighters also got to work on that building, evacuating everyone. And we spoke to one of the residents. His name is Carl Scott. This morning, his wife is the only victim of the fire. She's in the hospital being treated for smoke inhalation. And Carl is sad. He's happy, obviously, he got out. He's worried about his wife, but he's also a little bit mad because he says residents have been complaining about this building for a long time.
We had a mobile home here about a couple of months ago that had caught on fire. Here, they was living in the mobile home, which is out. It's actually right there outside. But yeah, it's just like they don't do anything about this building. Like nobody's renting it, and it's like it just need to be torn down because it's like it keeps getting on fire, catching on fire, and then it keeps coming over. You know, so I think that definitely something needs to be done about that because, you know, our life is in danger.
And again, Carl's wife, the mother of his 2-year-old son, is in the hospital this morning being treated for smoke inhalation. The only victim treated and transported, LA City Fire tells us. Now, arson investigators are here on the scene. That is standard protocol for a fire of this magnitude. But they're also listening to the neighbors who tell firefighters, who've told them, and they've been telling us, that there was an encampment set up inside this office building, and they believe that someone in that encampment actually started this fire. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you for that update. Meantime, several street vendors in Highland Park have been swept up by federal agents.
That has others in the community worried about who's next. Mario Ramirez joins us now live from Highland Park with the latest. Mario.
Bob, Jen, good morning. We're standing near a very busy, well-known intersection here at York and Figueroa in Highland Park. One of several advocates say where street vendors were targeted and taken into federal custody by ICE agents, all happening within the last 24 hours. Take a look. Cell phone video showing one of those moments play out. This is at Avenue 31 and Eagle Rock Boulevard here at Highland Park. A street vendor approached by ICE agents and taken into custody at his taco stand. Neighbors say what happened here is part of a broader sweep that left families fearful and angry. Well, just hours later, immigrants' rights groups gathered near Eagle Rock Plaza after they say federal agents were using the area as a staging point. Advocates say several of those taken are parents, including a father with children at LAUSD schools. Meanwhile, District 14 LA City Council member Isabel Jurado, who represents Highland Park and Eagle Rock, says enforcement operations move through Northeast LA, targeting street vendors. She spoke at a rally with a very strong message to the community here.
Some of these folks are losing the breadwinners, the sole income generator in their families. We're not going to normalize this violence. We will not accept a city where families are torn apart or folks are being murdered while these immigration enforcements are happening in our parking lots and shopping centers.
The coalition of immigrant rights groups we heard from there claims at least 5 street vendors were detained across the area through the early part of the day yesterday and on the first day back to school, which they say is no coincidence. Activists are urging residents, if you see immigration enforcement, don't interfere, but do document it and contact a rapid response network. Meanwhile, we can tell you happening today, LA County supervisors are set to consider a proposal creating ICE-free zones, and that would bar federal agents from using county property as operational or staging areas. For now, live in Highland Park, I'm Mario Ramirez. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Mario, thank you. Protests, meantime, continue in Minneapolis. Days after a woman was fatally shot by an ICE agent, state investigators are going door to door, collecting their own evidence after the FBI took charge of the investigation. Democratic lawmakers accuse the Trump administration of trying to, quote, cover up the shooting. The Department of Homeland Security is doubling down on defending the officer who shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, arguing he acted in self-defense.
The violence, the complete impunity with which these agents are operating. We need to make sure that these people are not masked. We need to make sure that there is real accountability.
President Trump and the entire Trump administration stands firmly with the brave men and women of ICE.
Homeland Security is deploying more federal officers to Minnesota to protect other ICE agents.
Now to the latest that's happening in Iran, where some reports say 2,000 people have been killed and more than 10,000 arrested during days of bloody protests. For the first time in days, Iran is allowing people to make phone calls abroad on their mobile phones, but internet and texting services have not yet been restored. And this morning, President Trump canceled meetings with Iranian officials and told protesters, quote, help is on the way. But what kind of help? Doug Luzader has the latest now from Washington.
Iran's government has tried for weeks now to quell the growing protest movement fueled by economic unrest. The heavy-handed response has reportedly killed hundreds.
Airstrikes would be one of the many options that are on the table for the commander-in-chief.
At the White House today, they're talking about options, with the president sitting down with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Pentagon brass. But don't expect a public declaration.
And so what President Trump will do next, only he knows, so the world will have to keep waiting and guessing.
The U.S. government has a clear warning for any citizens in Iran. Leave Iran now. Have a plan for departing Iran that does not rely on U.S. government help. And yesterday, the president announced a new 25% tariff on countries that trade with Iran. The Iranian regime has been here before, but this could be a tipping point.
You're looking at a doomed regime. It's just a question of whether change occurs because the regime decides it must change itself to survive, or the people change it, or change occurs because of U.S. military action.
But if the U.S. intervenes, the president may have a tough time selling it to many of his supporters who reject foreign entanglements.
The more isolationist MAGA base is going to need to be really pulled along to help them understand why the U.S. is getting involved in this way in the Middle East.
And that was Doug Luzader reporting. Happening today, the U.S. Supreme Court hearing two cases concerning state laws banning transgender people from taking part in school sports. One case stemming from Idaho, where a transgender athlete sued to play on women's sports teams at Boise State. The second centers around Becky Pepper Johnson, a high school sophomore in West Virginia, who sued for the right to play on the girls' track team. She says she wants to participate, but admits the national scrutiny is difficult.
I wish these people would educate themselves just so they would know that I'm just there to have a good time. That's it. But it hurts sometimes. Like, it gets to me sometimes.
We know that there are physical characteristics that men have that give them an unfair advantage on the playing field.
A ruling is expected by June, and legal experts say this could impact everything from bathroom access to military service.
8:11 this morning, and still ahead, Paramount takes its fight for Warner Brothers Discovery to court. We'll tell you why.
Also, an abandoned mall in Westminster turning into a crime hotspot with growing concerns fueled by social media. We have more on that story just ahead.
Top stories this morning. The woman accused of murder and the death of a high school tennis star is set to be arraigned. Prosecutors say Genia Risha Belt was intoxicated and speeding when she struck 18-year-old Ron Levy in May. Levy was crossing Sepulveda Boulevard at Rhonda Drive in Manhattan Beach. If convicted, Belt faces 15 years to life in prison.
More than 1 million Californians could see their homeowners' insurance rates go up this year. According to the San Francisco Chronicle, the State Department of Insurance has approved an average 6.9% rate increase for both CSAA and Mercury Insurance. CSAA's rate hike will take effect in March and Mercury's in July.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta says he is not running for governor. Instead, Bonta says he will run for re-election as Attorney General. Bonta says he's flattered by suggestions that he should run for governor, but is dedicated to continuing the state's fight against the Trump administration.
The recently closed Westminster Mall has become a target of taggers and vandals. The more than 50-year-old mall has been boarded up since before Christmas, but people are breaking into it to explore and vandalize the empty shopping center. Dozens of social media videos show the graffiti and vandalism inside, which police say has greatly increased over the last few weeks. Over the weekend, police tried to crack down on the trespassing.
We arrested 30 different people for various crimes, from vandalism to theft to different warrants, drug arrests, trespassing, all of the above. A lot of people grew up in this area, even for a lot of our officers. Just to see it get to this, and we don't like seeing it. At the end of the day, we're going to do everything we can to make it better.
Westminster PD says it's working with several management companies handling security to add fencing and security cameras to stop people from getting in.
Paramount is escalating its hostile bid for Warner Brothers Discovery by filing a lawsuit. That lawsuit would force Warner Brothers Discovery to disclose to shareholders how it values Paramount's bid compared to Netflix's. Meantime, Warner Brothers Discovery says its board determined Paramount's $78 billion offer was not in the best interest of the company or its shareholders. They're backing Netflix's $72 billion deal instead.
A bear was evicted from the crawl space underneath an Altadena home last week, and now another Altadena resident has the exact same problem.
No.
We don't know if it's the same 500-pound bear. I bet it is. That's found a new home to squat underneath. But residents who live about a half-mile away from where Ken Johnson had the months-long bear problem now report they have a bear under their home. A member of the animal advocacy group Bear League helped convince the bear to leave by spraying him with paintballs. Then they placed an electrified mat over the entrance to keep him from returning.
Didn't they tag him? Didn't they tag the bear?
Yeah.
They do. They did tag him, so they would know if it's the same one.
Why do you need the electric fence? Like, why not just lock it up?
Right.
Just lock it up. The other thing is
that bears are very strong.
So we have those wildlife crossing
yeah, that's right.
over the freeways.
They're building it. Yeah.
Why can't we figure out a way to give them like a bear home, like a temporary home, like, you know, build like caves for them or something like that? So like, don't go there. Go right here. Look how nice and warm and comfortable this place is.
There was a big wildfire that happened that kind of decimated this poor bear's home, and now it's looking for somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
So let's, you know, we can get
make him another home.
We can get some home builders out there, build him a home.
Sure, Bob.
Right?
I feel bad for the bear too. I do, because
100%.
right, it's just looking for a place to hibernate.
Yeah, so much of our wildlife displaced.
I don't think it hibernates
because of the fires. You don't think that bear hibernates?
Well,
what's he trying to do then?
Well, I heard that some bears don't actually hibernate.
Oh, really? I don't know which one specifically, but a lot of them do. So, yeah, I am surprised. Okay, I need to get to weather, I am told. So I'm going to get to this and let you know about the ridge of high pressure that's in control. It's probably confusing to the bear because it is kind of warm out there right now. This is because of the Santa Ana wind that continues. Temperatures are going up in the 70s and 80s today. In fact, even warmer today than yesterday, and probably warmer tomorrow into Thursday. We'll get a little less wind Thursday into the upcoming weekend, but high temperatures will still be above average as we get into the weekend. In fact, even in through next week, I see only dry conditions. The winds still gusty near 50 to even 60 miles an hour with those wind gusts in this wind-prone area of LA and Ventura County. So now it's confined to this area, not quite as widespread as the last several days. However, still please exercise caution. The high winds and the impacts include hazardous driving condition. Beware of the falling debris and some tree limbs on the road, down trees, even some power outages still possible over the next several days. 80 degrees should be the high temperature for downtown LA. That's more typical of June and July than January. Downtown LA, as we get to the morning hours here, will steadily climb up to around 78 degrees at 2 p.m. We're expecting a high of 80 at around 3, and then cooling back down to around 63 later this afternoon. Here's your day planner for Thousand Oaks. We'll get up to around 75 at 1 p.m., 76 2 p.m. And as we look at Big Bear, speaking of bears, making lots of snow in the nighttime, overnight hours, so you can get your runs in if you want to go up to Big Bear Mountain and Snow Summit. And there is plenty of snow that they're making, so it does look pretty up there. 61 degrees in Anaheim in the next hour, getting up to the upper 70s later this afternoon. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back after this quick break.
A live shot of Santa Monica, looking pretty nice. Lots of sunshine there. And gosh, I'm just happy that we're going to have dry conditions now for the next several days.
Right? It's a perfect Southern California day.
Starting the year with so much rain.
Okay, so American Airlines is set to offer free Wi-Fi on its flights. The airline rolling out the initiative this month for A Advantage members. The plan allows them to access free AT&T satellite-based Wi-Fi on more than 2 million flights this year. So the rollout is happening in phases, beginning with the carrier's narrow-body and dual-class regional flights. American expects to have the high-speed Wi-Fi available on almost every flight by the springtime.
If your hotel stay ever feels louder than relaxing, it may not be bad luck, but bad placement. Travel experts say where you stay matters. Specialists advise against rooms that end in 1 or 2. These are often close to the elevators or stairs or housekeeping areas. Calling ahead to request a room in a quieter part of the floor can help, and rooms on higher levels tend to be less impacted by lobby and street activity. Experts say arrive early and ask to see your room before settling in. That can also give you a better shot at a more peaceful stay.
Okay, waking up too early, if it doesn't come naturally to you, might not be good for your health. The Wall Street Journal reports sleep experts are sounding the alarm against a viral trend of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. The report says a lot of people are not getting the recommended amount of sleep per night, and forcing yourself to wake up too early could lead to some health problems, including sleep deprivation. The report says a person's ideal time to wake up is related to their chronotype. This refers to the natural inclination of your body to sleep at a certain time, or what most people understand as being an early bird versus a night owl. Why are you waking up that early is my question. You don't really have to. You try to get a workout in?
Is it really a viral trend?
I don't know. I mean, you're barely on TikTok. Me too.
That's right.
So I don't know what's a trend anymore.
8:25 is your time. Still ahead, we are talking to the cast of the studio.
Yes, we are. We're so excited. And Coco is at SoFi Stadium this morning. Big day.
Good morning. The 2028 Olympics is on the horizon, and you can start registering for tickets as early as tomorrow. We'll tell you what you need to know.
You're supposed to. Yes.
Good morning. Welcome to Good Day LA.
Oh my goodness.
Robert.
My bro voice.
Who is that?
Bob.
Yeah, it's like when you see your bro, you go like, "Sup."
Bro,
do you do the head nod?
The
Oh, I do that. That must be a Hawaii thing for me.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
No, it's a sup.
The head nod? Sup?
Sup?
up?
You said Melvin had a bro voice?
You did.
What's up, bro? What's the equivalent for women? A high pitch, like our baby voice? Like what?
No, not baby voice. I don't think so.
What's our bro voice?
When you see
Well, for me, it's the Hawaii. It's my Hawaii accent when my girlfriends get to go, hey, sister, what's going on?
Sister.
So
But I think we're like, hey, babe. Like, that's our girl.
Maybe,
Girl.
maybe
What's up,
that's
girl?
our version.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's our version.
Oh my gosh, the bro voice.
I wish you could hear what we talk about sometimes in the commercial break. Because because it is so entertaining. It does entertain us. Okay, I'm going to walk over to the green screen. So you guys just carry on and entertain each other, and I'll come over here and talk about the weather, okay? This is important stuff. Lots of sunshine today. Downtown LA right now, it's 55 degrees. The winds are mostly calm. However, it is going to pick up again later this morning. We've had 3 days in a row now of above average high temperatures, including yesterday, 76 degrees. Today will likely be the 4th day in a row as we are expecting another warmer day. We had a lot of rain, right? You remember, the early part of this month, we had 4 days in a row of rain, which totaled to almost 2.5 inches. Then we had all that rain back in November and October as well. So our rain totals actually are almost the entire season's total. So far, 14.11 inches. Normally for the entire year, we get 14.25. So we're actually doing really well. We have a surplus of 8.88 inches. And as far as when our next rainstorm is headed our way, right now the models are really not seeing much headed our way until at least January 22nd. So if you have any outdoor plans this weekend, possibly even next weekend, it should stay on the drier side. 80 degrees for downtown today is what we're expecting. That's above the average of 68. And our sun will set at 5:05. Here are the highs we're expecting this afternoon. 78 Woodland Hills, 78 in Pasadena, 57 in Big Bear. As we take a look at Palm Springs, 79 degrees, 76 in Santa Ana, and out towards Oxnard, nearly 80 degrees with that 79. All right, I'll show you the 70 forecast in just a few moments, but first let's talk about the traffic conditions out there. Let's head over to that big accident involving a big rig and a fire on the 101 freeway. It was shut down. I think they're trying to get at least one lane open, but there's definitely a SIG alert. So this is at Vermont Avenue, and that back up all the way to the 110. Both sides, actually, of that 101 near Hollywood is really a big problem right now. Here is a live look at the 101 at Bonnie Bray Street, and it's definitely slow going. So that big rig, fire, and accident definitely causing some problems here. Here are the drive times in and out of downtown LA. It is bad on the 10 freeway. This 101 accident is really causing some problems on the neighboring freeways. West 10, 72 minutes on that North 110 between the 45 to the 10, 48 minutes, and over an hour on that West 60 between the 57 to the 5. More weather and traffic in just a few moments. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. Developing this morning, President Trump has canceled meeting with Iranian officials, telling protesters, quote, help is on its way.
It's not immediately clear what type of help will be offered. No details provided there. However, Trump will meet with top military leaders today to go over options in dealing with Iran. Protests fueled by economic unrest have been happening now for the last 3 weeks there. More than 600 people are confirmed dead, but according to Reuters, an Iranian official says that actual number is about 2,000 people. Tehran has worked for weeks to quell the violence, posing the biggest challenge for Iranian authorities in years.
This comes as the president meets with top military advisors at the White House today.
And Brooke Thomas is here now with the latest on this. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. In response to the protests, President Trump announced new 25% tariffs on countries that trade with Iran in attempts to further weaken the country. The Trump administration has been weighing other options, ranging from cyber attacks to direct military strikes. U.S. citizens living in Iran are advised to have a plan to leave the country without needing help from the U.S. government. Officials say nothing is off the table. Earlier this morning, President Trump posted this message on Truth Social, reading in part, quote, Iranian patriots keep protesting. Take over your institutions. Save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. End quote. Despite threats of retaliation, Iran has expressed a willingness, according to President Trump, to negotiate. We're also learning new information about the 48-year-old man who police say drove a U-Haul truck through a crowd of protesters in Westwood who had gathered to call for political change in Iran. Caller Madinash has been charged with misdemeanor reckless driving. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt. He spent Sunday night in jail, but has since been released. LAPD Major Crimes Division will present the case to the city's attorney's office for filing consideration. Los Angeles is home to the largest Iranian population outside of Iran. People are worried about their family members still there. There's a long opposition to the current Iranian government. This latest started a couple weeks ago, as we've said earlier this morning, over rampant inflation. Take a look at this. Eating has become unaffordable. People have stopped buying cooking oil. The price of chicken, even gas, incredibly high. Some items have just gone from shelves altogether. We're talking about inflation rates somewhere around 40%. The president says, again, Iran is open to negotiations after his initial threat of strikes. Back to you.
And Brooke, there's talk that this could be different this time around. I mean, we've seen uprisings there within Iran in the past, but perhaps this time it'll be different.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Analysts say, foreign policy experts, analysts, they say Iran's regime is weaker than ever before. And the big thing here is that this latest round of protests started with the shopkeepers, and that's a big difference than we've ever seen before. They are typically pretty loyal to the regime.
Yeah, and now we've got more and more social media. That's the other thing.
Right.
Even though they've eliminated the social media, and the Trump administration now trying to get more Starlink there so that they can have a way to communicate.
I have to wonder, with such a big Iranian population here in Los Angeles, I mean, my gosh, trying to reach out to your loved ones and make sure they're okay. Our hearts are, you know, obviously going out to them as well.
Protests this weekend.
Right.
All right,
Thank you, Brooke.
Thank you. 4 astronauts are set to leave the International Space Station early this week due to a medical issue. During a change of command ceremony yesterday, outgoing Commander Mike Finke handed control of the station to Russian cosmonaut Sergei Kuchvirkov. The two crewmates will remain on board until mid-February when the next crew arrives. Finke praised his Crew 11 team.
This is the International Space Station. We've had continuous human habitation for 25 years. It's a wonder of engineering, a wonder of science, and a wonder of diplomacy. We're from all over the planet, and we're working together. It's a great symbol of what human beings can do.
NASA says the medical issue is not an emergency, but an early return will allow doctors to test on Earth. The Crew Dragon capsule is scheduled to undock tomorrow and splash down off the California coast early Thursday morning.
The Milan Cortina Winter Olympics is shaping up in less than a month away now. So organizers announced over the weekend that Andrea Bocelli will take the stage at the opening ceremony. I know. On February 6th, Mariah Carey is also supposed to be performing at the 3-hour-long ceremony. Viewers tuning in all around the world can also expect a tribute to the late Italian fashion designer Giorgio Armani.
I watched some of the qualifying this weekend.
Yeah.
The skating.
And your thoughts?
The kid whose parents died, I was so happy that he, in the American Airlines crash in the Potomac.
Goodness.
I'm so glad that he made the team and he's going to be in the Olympics. Yeah, basically, he's holding his parents.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to figure out the difference between all the different spins and whatever.
The axles, the triple, the
like the difference between a Lutz and a and I'm like, yeah, it's hard to see because they're moving so fast. You're like, what are you talking about?
I don't know
how
they don't get dizzy, right?
Here in LA, all eyes are turning to the 2028 Summer Games. If you're thinking about buying tickets, the first step begins tomorrow.
That's right. Hot Ticket. Coco McAvoy is live at Inglewood now with more. Good morning.
Good morning. Hot ticket indeed. And we're 2 years away from the 2028 Olympics here in LA, but that may seem far away, but it's really not, because starting tomorrow, you can register for tickets. Here's what you need to know. The 2028 Olympic Games will take place July 14th through July 30th of 2028. The 2028 Olympics will be the largest games in history, with more than 11,000 athletes across 51 sports. Opening ceremonies will be held at SoFi Stadium and the LA Memorial Coliseum. Here's the registration info. Anyone can register for tickets, but LA locals get first dibs on time slots to buy tickets. That means you must have a zip code matching a credit card's billing address in LA, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino, or Ventura counties for the California events. Locals can access tickets early from April 2nd to April 6th of this year if they register for the ticket draw by March 18th. Single tickets will start at $28. So for more information, head over to LA28.org. Registration for tickets will open tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So I'm sure a lot of people will be flooding to that website, including me. Reporting live this morning, I'm Coco McAvoy. I'll send it back to you.
No doubt, Coco. Thank you so much. Later today, LA County will officially proclaim January 24th as Robert Vargas Day. Over the years, we've shown you many of his murals, everything from his famed artwork in downtown to his Sunset Boulevard mural of Eddie Van Halen. Vargas is also known for his mixed media portraits, live tributes, and tributes to Dodger players and other local sports legends. In September of 2021, the city of LA presented a proclamation declaring September 8th as Robert Vargas Day. He posted this message to social media ahead of his second day honors.
This is truly a historic moment, not only for me and my work, but also for the collective of art here in Los Angeles.
Having 2 days named after him isn't the only honor he's received. The intersection of First and State Streets in his hometown of Boyle Heights was named Robert Vargas Square 3 years ago.
Amazing talent.
Friend of the show, yeah. Congrats
That's right.
to him. Airplane food isn't the best, we can all admit that, but American Airlines has an interesting offering.
Okay, so they're taking Texas barbecue to new heights, literally. Starting next month, first-class passengers flying from DFW to New York's LaGuardia or JFK airports can enjoy a barbecue platter at 35,000 feet. The food offering is made possible through a partnership with Pecan Lodge. I'm going to say it the real Southern way. Pecan Lodge. It's an award-winning restaurant that's been honored by Food Network and the New York Times. So no, don't expect Sloppy Joe or cafeteria food. No, ma'am. This is 100% Texas goodness. The airline will offer brisket, smoked sausage, creamy mac and cheese, crisp coleslaw in flight. The barbecue option is currently limited for Dallas to New York routes, with hopes to expand to more destinations later. But for now, this might be worth a layover.
Wow.
Looks delicious.
I mean, as if people aren't a little jealous enough of the people who are sitting in first class. Now they have the barbecue.
Yeah, because if you're in economy, you get Biscoff. Those little.
You know what? I actually love those cookies.
They're good.
I do
They're
too.
good.
I love those
They
cookies.
sell them at Costco in like the big packets.
Yeah, don't sleep on the Biscoffs.
2 Biscoffs.
That's right.
I actually ordered a double serving.
And the sun.
The Biscoff.
Hey, you guys, our poll is popping off.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, entertainment is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. Last hour, we asked you, besides a cat and a dog, what pet would you wish for? And 30% of you, we want a bird.
Yeah.
We want a bird.
I'll take a tarantula.
Pretty bird,
you know.
Oh,
Listen.
my goodness. It's time.
It's time.
We're
It is
so
the
excited.
show that has taken award season by storm. Of course, we're talking about
The studio. Okay, after Sunday's Golden Globe wins, the comedy now has its sights on bringing home maybe a couple actor awards because of scenes like this one. Check it out.
Look, Marty, there's something you should know, and Sal is actually going to take the lead on this and tell you.
Sal.
Yeah.
Now I talk.
Now you talk.
Marty, first of all, can I say, you're the reason I'm in this business.
Who the you, and what are you trying to say?
Oh my goodness. Yes, joining us now, Seth Rogen, Ike Barinholtz, and Chase Sweet Wonders. Hi, guys.
LA.
From our new studio to your studio, you didn't know that you had pro bono marketing here. We may be the biggest studio fans in the local market right now. Truly.
we are.
Thank you.
You guys, we're in Burbank right now. We just talked to someone that was loving the show.
No, us more. I think I was the first person to stand up at the Critics' Choice Awards, and I was saying Sal Saperstein, baby. So thank you for giving us that, Ike. We go back to the Mindy Show. Tell me about how this show is very like life imitating art, but art imitating life. Do you sometimes blur the lines when you're doing the red carpets now? Like, hey, are we filming or is this real?
It is really weird, especially now, like we've worked with some of the journalists who actually interview us, and been in the physical places that some of these award shows are held. We've filmed in and recreated. It's really weird, but I think it's fun. I mean, that's the reason we wanted to do the show, was to sort of really explore some of the specifics of the world that we live in on a day-to-day basis, and kind of show people what it's like to walk down the carpet,
walk down
the carpet and the Golden Globes, and go on stage and sort of invite people to experience what it's like to actually do this stuff. Yeah.
I have to ask you this. So you were congratulations on all the Golden Globes. Love. When you're out at these award shows, is it kind of like, I mean, are you poaching? Are you trying to get people on the next season? Are they coming up to you?
Both. Yeah, all of that. Yeah, a lot of very lovely, people expressing interest in being on the show, us trying to rope people in. It does turn every Hollywood thing into like even more of a work event than it was before, because I think everyone really has their ears perked up and is kind of trying to see what we can extract from any situation that we're in. Yeah.
I want to ask you guys, because the roster of guest stars in season 1 was truly top tier. I mean, how many dozen big names do we got rolling in the mix for season 2? Because I know you're going to be filming it, next week?
Yeah, I can confidently say it seems like we have even more people in the second season.
I believe
in the first season, and several people that were unbelievably hard to get that I've been working on since August, some of these people, and so it's and it's really exciting that it seems like it's actually all going to work, and I think people will be really excited once we actually get to show these episodes to people.
Anyone who says no, we'll just use their likeness with AI.
AI. Facing a lot of deep faking, a lot of big people, alive and dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look forward to Orson Welles.
Orson Welles is in the show this year.
Yeah. You're not gonna shut my movie down.
I got a big Errol Flynn arc.
Wow.
Some real specific names. One more question. What did you guys think of the DJ at this year's Golden Globes?
The playlist.
Music was funny.
It was insane.
Yeah. It was like the guy from Adolescence wins, and it's like, baby got back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was literally like, it was the pit one, and oh yeah, by Usher's play.
For Stellan Skarsgård. Yeah, get down. Yeah. Well, maybe that might have to be a scene.
The beat that makes the booty go clap.
I'm looking at the booty's going up. Do you think it's because of the
seeing you up there, Noah Wiley, it makes me really realize Usher have the beat make the booty go clap.
Big Usher baby.
Take that, rewind it back. Oh my goodness. Maybe some motivation for season 2 right there with that playlist. We are such huge fans. We cannot wait to see what season 2 has in store. Thank you, all three of you. Thank you for joining us this morning on Good Day LA. You can catch all of the studio season 1 on Apple TV. And thank you to Sal Saperstein.
Yes.
Yeah.
Incredible. Amazing.
Love them.
Love it. Okay, so coming up, we have a Tasty Tuesday after the break. Crave New World is here to show us their stuff, but first, got to check on traffic. Good morning.
Traffic to talk about right now. Let's go to our traffic report brought to you by... Let's see, who's sponsoring our traffic report? Maybe you girls could help me by moving up the prompter. Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah, there we go.
Sponsored by the law offices of Jacob and Ronnie and calljacob.com. I know, we were all interested in the studio. We do have a lot of problems out there on the roadways. This is the 2. This is the Glendale Freeway. There's an accident here on the southbound 2. Number 1's and number 2 lanes are blocked at San Fernando Road. Look at the backup all the way to the 134. Over to the 10 on the eastbound side. 1 and 2 lanes are blocked here at City Terrace Drive, also causing quite a bit of a backup. And this backup has been in place since early this morning. This is that big crash, fire SIG alert officially here. The good news is that number 1 and 2 lanes are now open. This is on the 101, and it's still very slow going. Still 3, 4, 5 lanes are closed, but at least 1 and 2 are open here at Vermont on the 101. Here's one of our live traffic cameras on that 101 freeway. between or near the Bonnie Bray Street exit, and you can see that it's at least moving slowly. Here's a look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
I looked up and just ran.
Maybe we need to seek somebody who does have the expertise to be able to guide us through the process.
If you're getting into an accident,
you're in good hands by dealing with Jacob and Ron.
Call Jacob.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Corban. Good Day LA weather is sponsored by the law offices of Larry H. Parker. What a gorgeous view. Right outside our studios, looking out towards Century City. Not a cloud in the sky. We've got plenty of blue skies because of this offshore flow. Breezy Santa Ana winds continuing today, along with those wind alerts for some wind gusts still nearing 50, even 60 miles an hour in some isolated areas. Not as widespread, though, mainly over Ventura County and LA County. Our temperatures going up 10 to 15 degrees above normal. There might be a slight cool down as we get to the weekend, but it's still going to be above average. Some of the impacts with these winds still include hazardous driving conditions, some falling debris, some unsecured objects just getting blown around, some tree limbs, and some downed trees certainly still possible, along with some power outages. High pressure is just in control of our weather, and it's that clockwise flow of air around this ridge of high pressure giving us the offshore flow, breezy and warm temperatures. Looking at our 70 forecast here along our coastline, 73 83. That's going to stay with us, this weather pattern, through the end of the week and the upcoming weekend. Maybe a couple degrees cooler, like I said, but still above normal. 80 degrees for downtown LA. Tomorrow, 82. So I think tomorrow and Thursday will be the warmest of the extended outlook. Depending on where you are, the valleys in the IE, 82 tomorrow, 81 on Thursday, staying dry. No sign of any storms headed our way with this weather pattern. 57 up at the Big Bear area in the mountains, a little warmer tomorrow. 67 in the high desert, looking at plenty of sunshine through the extended outlook, and even in the Coachella Valley. 79 today, getting up to 83 tomorrow. There's my weather for now. Send it back to you.
Yeah, thank you. In today's Good Day Cafe, it's all about redefining frozen food with real healthy ingredients.
That's right. Crave New World founder and CEO Matthew Bragg launched his high-protein, clean label meals with no preservatives, seed oils, or additives. He's here now with his lineup of reimagined classics for us to taste test. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so tell us how this all came to be.
I don't usually like to lead with this, but I was quite a picky eater growing up. Newfound respect for my parents having to deal with me not eating fruits or vegetables. But you know, there comes a certain time when you want to take your health more seriously. And I got one too many stares, sort of ordering off the kids menu at an older age. So
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. So I started to think, why aren't there things in the market that are just as healthy for me, but are still in sort of the textures and formats that I grew up with and that I think of as sort of guilty pleasures.
Healthy comfort food.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is comfort food. It's the first thing I did was I looked at these boxes. I'm like, okay, how many calories are we talking about
That's
here?
right.
And actually pretty reasonable here. It's like around 300, mid 300 calorie per meal.
Exactly. All of them are mid 300 calories. They're all 20 grams of protein or higher. Very clean, as we said, but also still taste like the guilty indulgences that make it feel like comfort
That's
food.
right. So you got your inspiration from New Mexico.
I was living in New Mexico for a little bit, and I also just was frustrated with the lack of options based on my limited eating habits. And so I came up with this there.
All right, so this is true comfort food.
Yes.
Because we're looking at just show us some of the items that you brought here today.
Yes. So we have a Chipotle chicken mac and cheese, which has a little bit of a spice kick to it. We have a turkey lasagna. We have a bison meatloaf with mashed potatoes. And we have basically a Southwest-style chicken enchilada, which also has a spice kick that I've prepared for you guys today as well.
And I was telling you during commercial, in this now age of GLP-1s, right? When people are trying to up their protein intake, they're looking for smaller portions. This would be pretty perfect.
It's really great to see that people and consumers have done their homework now, and so this is all portion controlled. You get 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. It's reduced sodium, so it doesn't force you to overeat in any way. And this is perfect for GLP-1s, for all of the growing trends of
That's right.
protein. Yeah.
It fits right in. Okay.
Where can we find this?
Ralph's. We just rolled out at Ralph's, Kroger's, and we'll be in Targets nationwide this spring. So
wow,
that's great. This is great.
Delicious. Delicious. Thanks for joining us. CraveNewWorld.com for more information on how you can get your hands on this, or just go to Ralph's.
That's right.
Congrats on this.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Roxy and Sandra? No, we're going to break. Okay, goodbye. We're going to break. We're going to eat.
morning and welcome to 9 a.m. on this Tuesday morning. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Sandra Enda. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at today's headlines.
At least one person is in the hospital after a building in the valley catches fire. What witnesses believe caused this fire?
Plus, set your alarms. Registration for the LA28 Olympic Games ticket draw is right around the corner. What you need to know.
And Bruno Mars' new song is a smash hit. Don't believe me? I'm going to tell you what fans are saying this morning. But first, speaking of this morning, let's check in on the weather with Maria.
I love it. You know that I would. Anything for Bruno Mars. I've been loving this weather to a degree, of course. It feels like summer outside with our warmer temperatures. It's all a product of the offshore flow. So the winds right now showing some light breezes, but nothing too gusty just yet. That is going to come a little bit later this morning, as it does so typically in the latter part of the morning and into the afternoon. Right now it's 59 in Burbank, 63 downtown LA, 62 in Ontario. It's 46 in Big Bear, 61 in San Bernardino, to that 63 in Palm Springs. High temperatures will range anywhere from that 79 in Palm Springs today, which is mild, 67 for the high desert areas, some gustier winds up over the mountains, 57 eventually in Big Bear. Downtown LA around 80 degrees today. That is so not January-like. 78 in the valleys and the Inland Empire. Lots of sunshine at our coast as well. 73 there at our beaches. I'll show you the rest of my forecast in the 7-day in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Maria, thank you. Developing news in Winnetka this morning. Fire rips through a partially vacant office building, causing a partial roof collapse and injuring a woman.
The flames also threatened a nearby apartment building there, and Gigi Graciette is live on the scene with the very latest. Gigi.
Good morning, Sandra and Araxia. Good morning, everyone. We're on Sherman Way, just west of Winnetka, here in Winnetka, and you are looking live at LA City firefighters. They're still hard at work putting out hot spots, trying to get to the seat of the fire, as they call it, which is now buried under a partial roof collapse that you mentioned. Now, let's take you back to just after 5 o'clock this morning. That is when the fire broke out in this empty office building on Sherman Way. It is very close to an apartment complex, and that had to be evacuated. We spoke to folks who woke up to raging flames right next to them. They gathered up their belongings, their kids, their pets, and they rushed out. We spoke to one man in particular. His name is Carl Scott. He was actually awake working on his homework for his master's degree when he saw the flames. He rushed to get his wife and his 2-year-old son and get out of the building. Now, Carl, of course, is happy that they got out safely. He's sad because his wife did have to be hospitalized because of smoke inhalation. But there's a part of him that's also a little bit angry. And he's angry because he says that residents have been complaining about this building because although there are no office building tenants inside, he says it's been broken into and a homeless encampment was set up inside.
We had a mobile home here about a couple of months ago that had caught on fire. Here, they was living in the mobile home, which is it's actually right there outside. But yeah, it's just like they don't do anything about this building. Like nobody's renting it, and it's like it just need to be torn down because it's like it keeps getting on fire, catching on fire, and then it keeps coming over. You know, so I think that definitely something needs to be done about that because, you know, our life is in danger.
And again, Carl's wife hospitalized this morning, being treated for smoke inhalation. Thankfully, they all got out safely, as did the other residents. Now, bringing it back here live, you see LA City firefighters hard at work. Arson investigators are also here. Now, that is standard protocol for LA City Fire Department for a fire of this size and magnitude. But they are looking into the claims being made by residents that there was a homeless encampment inside this abandoned building. Reporting live this morning in Winnetka, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
Thankfully, he's okay, and the kid's okay as well. All right, Gigi, thank you. Now, street vendors are on edge this morning, especially in Highland Park, because some of them apparently have been detained by federal agents.
Mario joining us live from Highland Park with the details and also reaction. Mario.
Yeah, that's right. One of those vendors taken into federal custody here at this Highland Park intersection behind me, and we're now hearing from nearby businesses as well as other street vendors on high alert after what advocates describe as a series of ICE operations targeting local street vendors. So take a look. You can see one of those moments playing out here at the intersection of Avenue 31 and Eagle Rock Boulevard in Highland Park. A local vendor approached by ICE agents and taken into custody there while he was working at his taco stand. Advocates say this is part of a larger operation that left families terrified and neighborhoods on edge. And not far from here where this happened, immigrant rights groups rallied near Eagle Rock Plaza, claiming they spotted federal agents staging in the area earlier in the day. And among those taken into custody, they say a father whose children attend LAUSD schools. Witnesses say he was detained Monday afternoon at York and Figueroa Street, leaving his taco stand unattended. Nearby street vendors and business managers reacting this morning. Take a listen.
Just kind of dampers the mood. People are here to work and they're just trying to do their best for their families and everything like that. And I think it's tough.
Definitely not surprised by it, but it's the sentiment's been felt amongst myself and the Latino community at large. It's unfair. It's unjust. Our community is being targeted.
Now, these street vendors, clearly they work in public spaces and can't easily leave their setup, which advocates say makes them more vulnerable to these immigration enforcement operations. Advocates say at least 5 street vendors were taken into custody, federal custody in Northeast LA Monday alone. And back out here live, I've checked multiple businesses in this area near the intersection here behind me, now passing out these flyers with a direct number to a local immigrants' rights network. For now, that's the latest here in Highland Park. I'm Mario Ramirez. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Mario, thank you for being there. Later today, the LA County Board of Supervisors will vote on a proposal concerning the ICE raids. The panel will decide whether to bar federal immigration agents from using county parks, clinics, and social service offices as staging areas. This move would make the nation's most populous county one of the largest jurisdictions to impose such restrictions. The ICE-free zones motion, introduced by Supervisor Lindsay Horvath, instructs County Council to draft an ordinance within 30 days.
2 landscapers are back at work after this scary confrontation in Downey over the weekend. Border Patrol agents attempted to detain the pair on Saturday. Victor Carrera jumped into action, though, recording this confrontation and shouting at agents. His neighbors quickly joined him as well, and the agents eventually let the men go. Both landscapers had documentation, but Carrera says the agents never asked to see it.
Happening tomorrow, a federal judge will address the state's new law banning immigration agents from wearing masks. The state passed the No Secret Police Act last year. It was set to go into effect January 1st, but the law is still being enforced after the Trump administration sued to block it. Supporters say the law prevents secret police and builds trust, but the government claims the law interferes with federal duties and threatens agent safety. If the law is allowed to proceed, ICE agents could be cited or even arrested. They could also be sued by citizens for crimes like assault and battery.
New this morning in South Korea, prosecutors are demanding the death penalty for former South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol. Prosecutors accuse him of rebellion for imposing martial law in 2024. Yoon claimed it was to counter opposition lawmakers, but critics call it a power grab. His actions sparked protest, impeachment, and his removal from office. Experts predict a life sentence instead. South Korea has not executed anyone since 1997. The verdict is expected in February, marking a dramatic fall for the once popular leader.
Developing this morning, President Trump has canceled meetings with Iranian officials, telling protesters, quote, "Help is on the way."
It's not immediately clear what type of help will be offered. No details were provided. However, Trump will meet with top military leaders today to go over options in dealing with Iran. Protests fueled by economic unrest have been happening for the past 3 weeks. More than 600 people are confirmed dead. But according to Reuters, an Iranian official says the actual number is about 2,000 people. Tehran has worked for weeks to quell the violence, posing the biggest challenge for Iranian authorities in years.
In response to the protests, President Trump announced new 25% tariffs on countries that trade with Iran in attempts to further weaken the country. The Trump administration has been weighing other options ranging from cyber attacks to direct military strikes. U.S. citizens living in Iran are advised to have a plan to leave the country without needing help from the U.S. government. Officials say nothing is off the table. And earlier this morning, President Trump posted this message on Truth Social, reading in part, quote, "Iranian patriots, keep protesting. Take over your institutions. Save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price." Despite threats of retaliation, Iran has expressed a willingness to negotiate.
All right, on to other news now. If you want to see the Olympics in person, listen up. Registration opens tomorrow for the LA28 Olympic Games ticket draw. The process begins tomorrow morning to buy tickets for any of the LA Olympic Games and Paralympic Games. To celebrate the registration opening, some 300 former Olympians and Paralympians will gather at the LA Memorial Coliseum later today. The event will include a ceremonial lighting of the cauldron and remarks from some of the former Olympians going back to the 1960 games in Rome.
Very cool. All right, coming up, 9/11. Amanda's got your entertainment headlines after the break, including why Bruno Mars is trending in the music industry.
Love Bruno Mars, but first, a check of traffic.
And Good Day LA Traffic is brought to you by DTLA Law Group, Accident and Injury Attorneys. We do have several problems out there on our freeways, including this crash, this accident on the southbound 2. This is the Glendale Freeway. Number 1 and number 2 lanes are blocked right now at San Fernando Road, so this is causing quite a backup all the way to the 134. Over to the 101. Again, this is that big accident. It was a Sigler, still is a Sigler actually, and it was completely shut down. The good news is that the 1 and 2 lanes are now open. However, on this northbound 101, still a backup all the way past that 134. Here's one of our live traffic cameras, the 101 at Bonnie Bray Street. It is moving a little bit better since the last hour, but definitely still slow because of that accident on that 101 freeway. Here is our drive time map here. Westbound 10 between the 5 to the 405 really being affected by all those accidents. An hour there. Northbound 110 between the 405 to the 10, 35 minutes, almost an hour on that West 60. Here's some other traffic hotspots.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DTLA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. This weather is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casinos. Look at how clear it is across the southwest. This is all because of this area of high pressure that has been anchored there, and it's going to stay put for a while. This is giving us that offshore flow, clockwise flow of air around this area of high pressure, giving us that wind out of the northeast. So there's Santa Ana's, yes, but more on the moderate side, and it's not as widespread as it was a couple of days ago. So that's at least some good news. It is providing us with some really warm temperatures, though. It's going to feel more like June or July rather than January. 70s and 80s for the high temperatures, and it will be dry through not just this week, but I think through next week and potentially even the following weekend. So around the 22nd is when we first see some signs of some real cloud cover and maybe a storm getting nearby. Until then, though, some gusty winds over Ventura, LA County, some of the mountain locations below the canyons and passes. We could see some of those gusts near 50 to even 60 miles an hour. That means hazardous driving conditions, some of the impacts, beware of falling debris, some of that debris on the roadways, the tree limbs, and even some downed trees certainly possible, along with some power outages. But around 80 for the high today for downtown. Yeah, not like January, right? Here's the pattern as we get into the latter part of this morning. Around 77 at 1 p.m. with the high near 80 degrees later this afternoon. Back to you.
Thanks, Maria. Hi, ladies.
Hi, morning.
Pretty in pink and purple over here.
Thanks, Navy.
Holding it down in Navy. Let's get into entertainment, sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. Unfortunately, though, we do start with some sad news in the entertainment world. The creator of the comic strip Dilbert has passed away. Scott Adams was 68 years old. Last May, he shared that he was fighting an aggressive form of prostate cancer. Dilbert, as most of us know, is one of the most iconic and popular comic strips of the 90s and early 2000s. It chronicled the ups and downs of office work in America. Well, may Dilbert live on through the legacy of Scott.
Yeah.
Moving on now to this, though. Bruno Mars may have another #1 hit on his hands. He's launching a new era with a fun, upbeat song that you might be hearing all 2026. I feel that Bruno Mars would have been successful no matter what decade he was born in,
no matter what era.
Yeah,
Yep, look at him.
It's just good music. It transcends time. That's I Just Might. It has over 21 million views on YouTube. It's from Bruno Mars's new album, The Romantic. It's set for release next month on February 27th. Bruno's also hitting the road on the Romantic Tour, which will come to SoFi Stadium October 2nd and 3rd. I've seen him in concert before.
Ooh,
he knows how to put on a show. Yeah, he is a showman.
He is. The Super Bowl, I mean, that was one of the best.
Everything he does, everything he touches, collaborates with, turns into gold, right?
Well, do you
24
remember
karat, all the way.
He's so powerful. He's busting up the studio
here.
We had a 24 karat shortage right there. Remember he was little Elvis as a kid?
Yeah.
I mean, he was literally born into this world and made for entertainment. So I'm excited. We've been waiting 10 years for a new Bruno album, so it's time.
That's right. It is time.
That's right.
All right.
Miss Comb. Thanks, Amanda.
All right, coming up, from skincare to self-care. This week's Tik Tok Tuesday has it all.
Our next guest is here to showcase some of the week's hot deals, including the promise of anti-aging in a bottle. Gorgeous flowers.
Nice.
Ooh.
Tik Tok Tuesday, sponsored by TikTok.
All right, TikTokers are loving these right now, from smarter home swaps to skincare and self-care that make a real difference. Our friend Christine Lucida has TikTok's top picks today. And we're going to start with something that's going to help you with your clothes, but also the planet. This is really exciting for me. I love this.
It's a smarter and greener way to do laundry. I love it. These are called reef sheets. They're fully dissolving. They're 100% mess-free, and they're pre-measured, so you can do your laundry. And the best part is they're keeping plastic out of our landfills and oceans. They take up almost, no space, so no more of those big jugs and trying to find room for them.
So that takes place of the fabric softener, that big one. You just put this in the dryer.
And this is a washing machine.
Oh, this is in the washing machine.
Yeah, you throw it in, and look, this is so kid-friendly. Like, I'm putting my kids to work, right? It's time for them to do their own laundry. You toss it in, that's it. It suds up, it cleans so good, and it can travel so easily, Maria. It's absolutely amazing. You can drop this into your carry-on, and voila, you're not breaking any airline rules if you like to go to Airbnbs and travel.
That's right.
Right.
So it just dissolves. Great for the planet.
Exactly. We love it. And it's hyperallergenic and really formulated for sensitive skin. And smell these.
Wait, which flavors?
So amazing.
Like soap. Like good soap.
Yeah, so they come a little small if you have a small load, one for a bigger. We love it.
I like this one.
Yes.
Okay, from this to, of course, anti-aging in a bottle. We need that.
Yeah, we definitely need. This is all by Solwasu. This is their first care activating serum. It's a limited edition jumbo bottle. And fun fact here. One bottle is sold every 10 seconds in Korea.
What?
Okay, exactly. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And so this is, I love this exclusive lunar packaging for the Lunar New Year. We're celebrating the year of the horse, strength and resilience.
Okay.
And this is ginseng powered. It's wonderful.
Which is the one that's...
This is it. This is it. Yes, this is it right here. And it really helps us with smooth those lines out and delay the onset of aging. Can I have all of these? Pour them.
Yes, pour it all over.
Pour it all over our faces. We need this. It's so beautiful. And it smells, doesn't it smell so good?
Definitely want to put this all over the
I know, and this beautiful
body.
packaging. Again, this jumbo bottle is a limited edition. It's really here to help us boost hydration and get that radiance glow. And again, preventing aging. Anti-aging serum, #1.
Okay, how about this? Pain. We have pains now.
Of course.
This is a season in our lives where I always talk about my knee pain and stuff. So this book is for us broken.
This is if you're exactly. If you're not moving around as easily as you'd like to, this book is going to be a game changer for you. It's called Built from Broken. It's by Scott Hogan. He is I love it. He's a corrective expert therapist, and he is got this wonderful book. Again, it's really here. It's a practical guide. It's a roadmap for healing our bodies and getting us feeling healthy and strong. I love it. And if you go on TikTok, this is their new edition. It's coming out. Revised edition, expanded on January 20th nationwide. It's also a bestseller. This book right here has sold over 200,000 copies. It is helping bodies all over the world. And if you go to TikTok, you are going to get $200 worth of free things when you purchase the book. You don't want to miss this. I just bought this for my dad, and he is loving it.
You know what helps heal me is the flowers.
Oh my goodness.
Love flowers.
Every week, I absolutely have to have flowers in my house.
Me too.
Flowers are a gift. They give you energy. This is by French Florist. They're right here on Pico in West LA.
Okay.
Look at these beautiful colors. A little positive eye pep around your space, whether it's in your office, whether it's at your home. Valentine's Day is right around the corner.
That's right.
Birthdays, anniversaries. But again, don't flowers, if you receive them or get them, don't they just make you feel so wonderful?
They always put a smile on my face,
and
Christine.
they're a good energy, right?
And you put a smile on our faces.
Aw, and same.
Every time you come with all these goodies. Thank you so much. You can check out her TikTok at TV Product Girl. All the information on all of these items here, you can check her out. TV Product Girl at TikTok. Okay? Did I get that right? Yes.
Yeah. TV Product Girl.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This smells really good.
Don't they?
And this book, so
this
good.
book is
morning and welcome. It is 9:30. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. Help is on the way. That's a direct quote from President Trump this morning. We have the latest on the U.S. response to the Iranian protests.
Plus, local street vendors on high alert this morning after advocates say several were taken into federal custody in a single day. What we're learning at this hour.
And Paramount takes its fight for Warner Brothers Discovery to court. We'll explain what this all means, but first a check on weather.
And yes, we still have some gusty winds out there, mainly over Ventura County, LA County mountains, but all of our passes really impacted by some breezy conditions and the usual wind-prone areas below the canyons and passes. 68 degrees currently downtown LA, so it's warming up now. We've got a lot of sunshine, and temperatures are going to be above average again, much like the last 3 days. So we've had 3 days in a row in downtown LA of above average temperatures, and it is dry, so it's a good thing we got all that rain earlier this month, plus last month, and also in October and November. We have had almost 2.5 inches so far just this month alone. In fact, for the season, the entire season, we would typically get 14.25 inches, and we've already received 14.11. So our surplus is at 8.88 inches. So I guess we could afford a few days of really dry conditions. We're not expecting any rain, at least through January 22nd. That's according to our computer model. So if you have any outdoor plans this weekend, and perhaps even next weekend, you should be okay. Highs will be, like I said, above normal. 80 degrees for downtown. That sunset time at 5:05 later today. 78 Woodland Hills, Burbank, Pasadena today. 79 in Oxnard, 57 in Big Bear, eventually to that 79 in Palm Springs. The 7-day forecast is coming up in just a couple minutes. Back to you.
Maria, thank you. Several street vendors in Highland Park have been swept up by federal agents.
That has others in the community really worried about what comes next and who is next. Let's go to Mario right now live in Highland Park with the very latest on that. Good morning.
Roxy, Sandra, good morning. We're near one of several intersections here in the area where advocates say street vendors have been targeted and taken into federal custody all within the span of the last 24 hours. Take a look. One of those moments playing out here in this cell phone video. This is at Avenue 31 and Eagle Rock Boulevard here in Highland Park. That street vendor was approached by ICE agents and taken into custody, leaving his taco stand unattended there. Neighbors say what happened here is part of a broader sweep that left families fearful and angry. And just hours later, immigrants' rights groups gathered near Eagle Rock Plaza after they say federal agents were using the area as a staging point. They say several of those taken are parents, including a father with children at LAUSD schools. And we heard from District 14 LA City Council member Isabel Jurado. She represents this area and says enforcement operations moved through Northeast LA, targeting street vendors. She spoke at a rally with this strong message to the community.
These folks are losing the breadwinners, the sole income generator in their families. We're not going to normalize this violence. We will not accept a city where families are torn apart or folks are being murdered while these immigration enforcements are happening in our parking lots and shopping centers.
The coalition of immigrant rights groups at that rally claims at least 5 street vendors were detained across the area here in Northeast LA through the early part of the day yesterday on the first day back to school, which they say is no coincidence. And this comes as LA County supervisors today are set to take up a vote on creating what they call ICE-free zones, which would bar federal agents from using county property as operational or staging areas. Now, we're also hearing from nearby businesses and other street vendors in the area how they're reacting and what they're doing differently this morning, coming up at the top of the next hour. For now, live in Highland Park, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you, Sandra and Roxia.
Mario, thank you. And later today, the LA County Board of Supervisors will vote on a proposal concerning the ICE raids. The panel will decide whether to bar federal immigration agents from using county parks, clinics, and social service offices as staging areas. This move would make the nation's most populous county one of the largest jurisdictions to impose such restrictions. The ICE-free zones motion, introduced by Supervisor Lindsay Horvath, instructs County Council to draft an ordinance within 30 days.
Protests continue in Minneapolis just days after a woman was fatally shot by an ICE agent. State investigators are going door to door collecting their own evidence after the FBI took charge of the investigation. Democratic lawmakers accused the Trump administration of trying to, quote, cover up the shooting. The Department of Homeland Security is doubling down on defending the officer who shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, arguing he acted in self-defense. Homeland Security is deploying more federal officers to Minnesota to protect other ICE agents. And developing this morning, President Trump has canceled meetings with Iranian officials, telling protesters, quote, help is on the way.
It's not immediately clear, though, what type of help will be offered. No details were provided. However, President Trump will meet with top military leaders today to go over options in dealing with Iran. Protests fueled by economic unrest have been happening for the past 3 weeks. More than 600 people have been confirmed dead, but we're seeing numbers much higher in many reports. According to Reuters, an Iranian official says the actual number is maybe 2,000 people, perhaps even more. Tehran has worked for weeks to quell the violence, posing the biggest challenge for Iranian authorities in years.
And this comes as the president meets with top military advisors at the White House today.
Yeah, let's go to Brooke right now. There is so much going on, so much to follow here, Brooke.
Yeah, absolutely. In response to the protests, President Trump announced new 25% tariffs on countries that trade with Iran. These are attempts to further weaken the country. The Trump administration has been weighing other options as well, ranging from cyber attacks to direct military strikes. U.S. citizens living in Iran are advised to have a plan to leave the country without needing help from the U.S. government. Officials say nothing is off the table. Earlier this morning, President Trump posted this message on Truth Social, reading in part, quote, Iranian patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions, save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. Now, despite threats of retaliation, President Trump says Iran has expressed a willingness to negotiate. And this morning, we're learning new information about the 48-year-old man who police say drove a U-Haul truck through a crowd of protesters in Westwood who had gathered there to call for political change in Iran. Caller Madinash has been charged with misdemeanor reckless driving. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt. We know he spent Sunday night in jail. He has since been released. LAPD Major Crimes Division will present the case to the city attorney's office for filing consideration. In case you're not familiar, Los Angeles is home to the largest Iranian population outside of Iran. People are worried about their family members still there. There's a long opposition to the current Iranian government. Back to you.
Other movements in Iran, Brooke, in the past 2 decades. This one, though, many say feels different. And the big question is, of course, will the regime fall? And if it does, what happens next?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's interesting because analysts, different political experts, experts in this area, specifically saying that this is different. They say the Iranian regime right now at this point is weaker than it has ever been before. And the big sticking point here is they say these protests started with the shopkeepers. And that's a big deal because they are typically very loyal to the regime.
That's right. It just shows how dire the situation is economically there. We'll talk much more coming up at 10 o'clock. There's so much to cover here. Thank you so much for that. Moving on to this, an investigation revealed that most of the $100 million raised by the fire and aid concert has gone to nonprofits and charities providing assistance for fire survivors. Congressman Kevin Kiley demanded the review.
The report that the Judiciary Committee has issued details some examples of questionable uses of those funds, going to podcasters, going to political advocacy type groups, voter outreach type groups, and the investigation is ongoing.
Kiley says the committee found 6 organizations that it says distributed grants not connected to the fire aid goals, citing money spent on labor, salaries, other costs as well. Fire Aid has said that earlier on that money was going to organizations and plans to distribute an additional round of $25 million in grants this year.
A bear was evicted from the crawl space underneath an Altadena home last week, and now another Altadena resident has the same exact problem. We don't know if it's the very same 500-pound bear that's found a new home to squat underneath, but residents who live about half a mile away from where Ken Johnson had the months-long bear problem now report a bear under their home. A member of the animal advocacy group Bear League helped convince that bear to leave by spraying him with paintballs. Then they placed an electrified mat over the entrance to keep him from returning.
More than a decade after formally integrating women into ground combat units, the Pentagon now reviewing their performance. The review calls for the Army and Marine Corps to submit data on women's readiness, training, performance as well, and casualties, among other things. The findings expected to guide decisions on how those ground combat units are staffed with women and how their training is designed. Before joining the Trump administration, Hegseth had advocated against women serving in combat roles, writing in his book that they cannot physically meet the same standards as men.
Happening today, the Supreme Court will hear two cases concerning state laws banning transgender people from taking part in school sports. One case stems from Idaho, where a transgender athlete sued to play on women's sports teams at Boise State. The second centers around Becky Pepper Johnson, a high school sophomore in West Virginia who sued for the right to play on the girls' track team. She says she just wants to participate, but admits the national scrutiny is difficult.
These people would educate themselves just so they would know that I'm just there to have a good time. That's it. But it hurts sometimes. Like, it gets to me sometimes.
We know that there are physical characteristics that men have that give them an unfair advantage on the playing field.
A ruling is expected by June, and legal experts say it could impact everything from bathroom access to military service.
A showdown continues in Hollywood over the potential sale of Warner Brothers Discovery yesterday. Paramount Skydance sued Warner Brothers over its rejected offer. Warner Brothers claimed that Paramount's $78 billion offer wasn't good enough as the previous $72 billion offer from Netflix. But Paramount now wants a court to force Warner Brothers to prove that by showing the numbers and calculations that WB board used to reject Paramount's offer. Paramount is hoping for a ruling in the new few weeks, that is, with Warner Brothers accepted to offer from Netflix late last year. That deal could actually hit another speed bump. When asked about it Sunday, the president said he wasn't really in favor of the Netflix deal. That could be a big problem since the Trump administration would need to approve the merger before it actually takes place.
Apple Siri is getting a Google upgrade. The companies have announced a multi-year partnership. It will have Google's artificial intelligence Gemini power iPhone's Siri feature. The deal marks the first time Apple will use another company's AI on its phones. Apple says Google's AI will help to create a more personalized Siri for users, which is set to roll out later this year. Users will still have access to Apple AI, as the company says it will maintain privacy on its devices.
The Department of Homeland Security says it's investigating $115 million, that is, into counter-drone defense measure at venues hosting the FIFA World Cup. The measure also expected to be used at events celebrating the country's 250th birthday anniversary, which is coming up. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem saying that the investment is part of the administration's effort to protect the country's broader and interior border, and interior, as drone use continues, of course, to be on the rise.
The Milan Cortina Winter Olympics is shaping up, and it's less than a month away now. Organizers announcing over the weekend that Andrea Bocelli will take the stage at the opening ceremony on February 6th. Mariah Carey is also slated to perform at the 3-hour-long ceremony. Viewers tuning in around the world can also expect a tribute to the late Italian fashion designer Giorgio Armani.
I love Andrea Bocelli. That's so awesome. A potentially dangerous situation for the U.S. bobsled team during a World Cup race on Sunday. So pro athlete Chris Horn makes it into the sled first as the team's driver, but his 3 teammates miss.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they had to bail out. That left Horn to handle the sled by himself for the run, reaching speeds of around 75 miles per hour. The brakes in the bobsled are also in the back. But fortunately, Horn began his bobsledding career as a brakeman. Oh my gosh, so lucky. So he was able to actually scoop back, pull the brake handles after crossing the finish line. None of the bobsledders got hurt. There is one World Cup race weekend left before USA bobsled and skeleton picks its team for the 2026 Milan Cortina Winter Olympics.
Wow. That could have been a real big disaster right there.
Totally.
The speeds, and then if it flips, and
really dangerous.
It really, really is.
I also just thought of, you know, that movie with John Candy. The bobsled. Oh my gosh. Cool Runnings. Cool Runnings. I love that movie. Just, I don't know. Made me think of all that stuff.
All right. Well, here in LA, all eyes are turning to the 2028 Summer Olympics. And if you're thinking about buying tickets, the first step to do begins tomorrow.
Yeah, let's go to Coco live in Inglewood with that. Hi, Coco.
Hey there, we are 2 years away from the 2028 Olympics here in LA, and that may seem like far away, but it's really not. It's closer than you think. And starting tomorrow, you can register for tickets. So here's what you need to know. The Olympic Games will be starting on July 14th of 2028, and they'll run through July 30th. The 2028 Olympics will be the largest games in history, with more than 11,000 athletes across 51 sports. Opening ceremonies will be held at SoFi Stadium and the LA Memorial Coliseum. Here's the registration info. Anyone can register for tickets, but LA locals get first dibs on time slots to buy the tickets. That means you must have a zip code matching a credit card's billing address in LA, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino, or Ventura counties for the California events. Locals can access tickets early from April 2nd to April 6th of this year if they register for the ticket draw by March 18th. Single tickets will start at $28. So for more information, head over to LA28.org. Registration is going to open at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'll send it back to you.
There's so many good competitions to get tickets for. All right, Coco, thank you. And we've got a good deal for you. Chipotle is offering rewards members a free extra scoop of protein today. Why? Well, the chain says January 13th is one of the most popular days to hit the gym, and protein helps maintain those gains. To get the extra meat, customers need to order an entree online or through the app and use the coupon code PROTEIN at checkout. The deal applies for bowls, burritos, and salads.
I'm hungry.
I know.
That all looks really good,
right?
yeah.
All right, coming up, the CDC facing pushback over its new vaccine guidelines for kids.
A spokesperson for the American Academy of Pediatrics joined us this morning to discuss what you should know.
Okay, let's talk about our windy conditions and why. We've got an area of high pressure that is basically entrenched there right over us, not going anywhere for quite a while. So it's going to keep the storm track away from us well up into Canada, even the Pacific Northwest experiencing some dry conditions today, tomorrow, and Thursday. In fact, as we look at the long-range model, that trough in the east will continue. We've got this ridge here keeping us nice and dry and warm through next week, potentially even into next weekend. So if you have plans outdoors this weekend, potentially even into next weekend, you should be okay. If you're headed to the beach today, 3 to 5 foot sets in Ventura, the county beaches, LA County beaches, 2 to 4 feet, Orange County 1 to 3, and around 2 to 4 feet for San Diego. Here is the 7-day forecast for the coastal communities, 73 today. Similar conditions as we head through the end of the week and even into this upcoming weekend. We are expecting even less wind. That being said, temperature is still going to be above average. 80 degrees for downtown today, 82 tomorrow. The wind advisories are staying in effect through Wednesday at 2 p.m. So we'll wait and see if that gets extended. But for now, I think we will see less wind as we get to the end of the week and the upcoming weekend. 57 up into the mountains in Big Bear. They're making lots of snow, so you can still head up there and get your snow fun in. 67 in the high desert today, 70 degrees by Thursday. And as we get to the Coachella Valley, 79 in Palm Springs, getting up to 83 tomorrow, and really staying in that range at least through the end of the week. Back to you.
Maria, thank you. LA Unified School District welcoming students back to kick off a new semester. School officials holding a press conference at 96th Street Elementary School in South LA. Superintendent Alberto Carvalho emphasized efforts to protect students in case of immigration enforcement. Carvalho says LAUSD schools do not allow federal agents to come in and try to remove a student, parents or staff without a signed judicial warrant, and that there are trained people who know how to handle those types of situations.
We repudiate, we reject that climate of fear. It has no place in our community, has no place in the streets of our nation. I'm appealing to parents. Schools are safe places. Schools are safe places. Our schools are protected spaces. So send your children to our schools.
The superintendent says there are counselors, social workers, and staff members available to assist and answer your questions.
Last week, the United States took the unprecedented step of dropping the number of vaccines it recommends for all children. Previously, the recommendations included 17 vaccines. Well, now it's just 11. The CDC currently recommending every child get vaccines for measles, whooping cough, polio, tetanus, chickenpox, and HPV. It no longer recommends vaccinations against flu, rotavirus, and some forms of meningitis, RSV, and hepatitis A and B. Despite this new guidance, though, many states and cities, including California and the LA County Department of Public Health, say they're sticking with the existing schedule. Earlier on Good Day LA, Dr. David Hill, pediatrician and spokesperson for the American Academy of Pediatrics, had this to say about the RSV shot being sidelined.
As a hospital-based physician, I used to spend all winter admitting babies and toddlers for RSV infections. They couldn't breathe. Many of them went to the intensive care unit that required IV fluids and tons of invasive procedures. Once we got protection against RSV, there's a vaccine that mothers can get, and there's an antibody that newborns can get. It plummeted. I had days last January with no admissions, which is unheard of. The idea that we would roll that back, that I'm going to spend future years looking at these babies struggling so hard to breathe like I had to in the past is mind-blowing.
Critics warn the new federal schedule could lower vaccination rates and increase disease risk. Meanwhile, White House officials say it builds trust and choice for families.
Pokemon fans will soon be able to catch and build them all as LEGO teams up with a Japanese brand for its first ever LEGO Pokemon set. This is all part of Pokemon's upcoming 30th anniversary next month. Fan favorites like Pikachu, Eevee, and Charizard are being brought to life in LEGO brick form, made to build and display. The sets do come with a hefty price tag, though, ranging from $60 for Eevee and $650 for the massive 3 Pokemon set. Oh my gosh. The collection launched February 27th with pre-orders already underway.
Yeah, those Lego sets are not cheap, that is for sure. All right, good news for travelers with American Airlines. The company is set to offer free Wi-Fi on its flights. The airline rolling out the initiative this month for AAdvantage members. The plan allows them to access free AT&T satellite-based Wi-Fi on more than 2 million flights this year. The rollout is happening in phases, beginning with the carrier's narrow-body and dual-class regional flights. American expects to have the high-speed Wi-Fi available on almost every flight by the spring.
Coming up next at 10 a.m., a Hollywood actor and director on the run after child abuse allegations. Now the feds are joining that search.
Plus details on new research that could provide hope to Alzheimer's patients. It has to do with using sound therapy to wash away harmful plaque buildups in the brain.
Also, it is one of nature's most stunning sights, the so-called firefall at Yosemite Falls. Why seeing it will be different this year. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 10 a.m. on this Tuesday morning. A lot going on here. Some of the stories we're following for you right now.
A major fire in the San Fernando Valley has residents angry. What they say, or who they say, caused the fire.
And local street vendors on high alert this morning as advocates say they're being targeted by ICE operations. We're live where several were reportedly taken into custody in the last 24 hours. Coming up.
Well, it's going to feel more like June rather than January, and it's because of this offshore flow. The wind's still coming out of the northeast. Not too gusty now, but it will get a little bit stronger a little bit later this morning and afternoon. I'll have the complete forecast coming up.
President Trump cancels a meeting with Iranian officials over the deadly protests roiling that country, with the death toll now reportedly topping 2,000.
Developing news in the San Fernando Valley this morning. Firefighters mopping up a major fire in a partially vacant Winnetka office building.
One woman was taken to the hospital with smoke inhalation, and Gigi Graciette is live at the scene with the details. Gigi?
Sandra and Araxia, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're on Sherman Way, just west of Winnetka, here in Winnetka. And here, LA City firefighters continue hard at work, trying to get to the seat of the fire, trying to make sure all the hot spots are put out. And they're about to send in their drone unit just to see if the drone identifies any area that needs extra attention. Now, take a look at the video. The fire broke out just around 5:40 this morning on the 20,000 block of Sherman Way. When firefighters arrived, the building, the fire was just raging, and it was threatening the apartment complex right next door. The apartment complex is about 10 to 20 feet away, so you can imagine how concerned firefighters were about it. They immediately sent units into that apartment complex to knock on all the doors to make sure all the residents had already gotten out as they continued fighting this fire. Now, we spoke to one of those residents, Carl Scott. He was actually awake doing some homework for his master's degree when he heard the sound of glass breaking and fire, that crackling noise. He saw the fire, the flames. He immediately got his 2-year-old and his wife. She's the one that's in the hospital this morning. And Carl told us that while they got to safety, they're angry because they have been complaining about this building, which you heard is only partially occupied. And he says that's because there's an encampment, people living on that second floor that is supposed to be empty. And he believes they started a warming fire this morning, and that's what caused this fire.
We had a mobile home here about a couple of months ago that had caught on fire. Here, they was living in the mobile home, which is out. It's actually right there outside. But yeah, it's just like they don't do anything about this building. Like nobody's renting it, and it's like it just need to be torn down because it's like it keeps getting on fire, catching on fire, and then it keeps coming over. You know, so I think that definitely something needs to be done about that because, you know, our life is in danger.
And again, it's Carl's wife who had to be hospitalized. I just checked in with him. He told me his wife is doing well, but she does remain in the hospital where she's being treated for smoke inhalation. And let me tell you, smoke inhalation can be very dangerous. Bringing it back here live, photographer Tony Butita showing you exactly how close that apartment building is to the office building that went up in flames. Now, LA City Fire, they had their arson investigators here. Their determination unknown. Now, that's standard protocol for a fire this size, of this magnitude, but they are listening. They did talk to the residents. They did hear their concerns about a group of homeless people they claim were living on the second floor of this building. Reporting live in Winnetka, I'm Gigi Graciette. I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, that apartment building right next to the vacant office building with a tree in between it, no less, which could serve as a conduit of the fire, should that catch on fire as well. Gigi, really scary there. All right, thank you.
That's right.
Now, this morning, the LA County Board of Supervisors will vote on whether to bar federal immigration agents from using county parks, clinics, and social service offices as staging areas. The so-called ICE-free zones motion is being introduced by Supervisor Lindsay Horvath. It would require county-owned properties to have signs stating that it cannot be used for ICE enforcement. It would also mandate physical barriers and locked gates where appropriate. Los Angeles County is home to an estimated 800,000 undocumented immigrants. San Francisco supervisors issued similar legislation in the fall.
Street vendors on the edge this morning, especially in Highland Park, some of their own apparently have been detained by federal agents.
Mario Ramirez joining us now live from Highland Park with the details and reaction. Mario.
Sandra, Roxia, witnesses say one of those vendors was taken into custody here at this Highland Park intersection behind me, and multiple businesses in the area now handing out these small flyers with a direct number to a local immigration rights network. Let's go to the video here showing you one of those street vendors being taken into custody by federal agents. This is at Avenue 31 and Eagle Rock here in Highland Park. Advocates say this is part of a larger operation that left families terrified and neighborhoods on edge. Now, not far from here where this happened, immigrant rights groups rallied near Eagle Rock Plaza, claiming they spotted federal agents staging in the area earlier in the day. Among those taken into custody, they say, a father whose children attend LAUSD schools. Witnesses say he was detained Monday afternoon at York and Figueroa Street, leaving his taco stand unattended. Nearby street vendors and business managers reacting this morning. Take a listen.
Just kind of dampers the mood. People are here to work, and they're just trying to do their best for their families and everything like that. And I think it's tough.
Definitely not surprised by it, but it's the sentiment's been felt amongst myself and the Latino community at large. It's unfair. It's unjust. Our community's being targeted.
Now, these street vendors work in public spaces. They can't easily leave their setup, which advocates say makes them more vulnerable to immigration enforcement. Now, a coalition of immigrant rights groups that's been tracking the activity here, well, they say at least 5 street vendors have been taken into federal custody here in the Northeast LA area Monday alone. For now, live in Highland Park, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
All right, Mario, thank you for that. Meanwhile, these 2 landscapers are back to work after this intense confrontation. It happened in Downey over the weekend. Border Patrol agents attempted to detain the pair. This was Saturday. Victor Correa recorded this, and he shouted at agents. His neighbors quickly joined in. The agents eventually let those men go. Both of the landscapers had documentation, but Correa says that the agents never asked to see it.
That's something that I just can't stand for. I grew up in this city for 38 years, and I've never had to worry about carrying identification. I mean, who wants to live like that? That's not the America that I was taught.
Victor Correa says that the best way to help is to be a good witness. Record what you see. Voice your concerns, but don't interfere.
And protests continue in Minneapolis just days after a woman was fatally shot by an ICE agent. State investigators are going door to door collecting their own evidence after the FBI took charge of the investigation. Democratic lawmakers accused the Trump administration of trying to, quote, cover up the shooting. The Department of Homeland Security is doubling down on defending the officer who shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, arguing he acted in self-defense.
The violence, the complete impunity with which these agents are operating, we need to make sure that these people are not masked. We need to make sure that there is real accountability.
President Trump and the entire Trump administration stands firmly with the brave men and women of ICE.
Homeland Security is deploying more federal officers to Minnesota to protect other ICE agents. And now to the latest on the intensifying situation in Iran.
There are reports of more than 2,000 people killed during days of demonstrations. More than 10,000 others have been arrested and put in prison. For the first time in days, Iran's government is allowing people to make phone calls abroad on their mobile phones, but internet and texting services have not been an option for most people. This morning, President Trump has canceled meetings with Iranian officials. He's told protesters help is on the way. That is a quote. But the question, of course, is what kind of help? And for that, Douglas Zader has the latest from Washington.
Iran's government has tried for weeks now to quell the growing protest movement fueled by economic unrest. The heavy-handed response has reportedly killed hundreds.
Airstrikes would be one of the many options that are on the table for the commander-in-chief.
At the White House today, they're talking about options, with the president sitting down with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Pentagon brass. But don't expect a public declaration.
And so what President Trump will do next, only he knows, so the world will have to keep waiting and guessing.
The U.S. government has a clear warning for any citizens in Iran. Leave Iran now. Have a plan for departing Iran that does not rely on U.S. government help. And yesterday, the president announced a new 25% tariff on countries that trade with Iran. The Iranian regime has been here before, but this could be a tipping point.
You're looking at a doomed regime. It's just a question of whether change occurs because the regime decides it must change itself to survive, or the people change it, or change occurs because of U.S. military action.
But if the U.S. intervenes, the president may have a tough time selling it to many of his supporters who reject foreign entanglements.
The more isolationist MAGA base is going to need to be really pulled along to help them understand why the U.S. is getting involved in this way in the Middle East.
All right, and for more on that, we're going to bring in Brooke, because the question is, how will the U.S. get involved? What will the next steps be? You know, time is of the essence at this point, Brooke.
No, for sure. You know, I just want to reiterate some important bullet points here, because activists, again, say the death toll from nationwide protesters in Iran, topping 2,000 deaths. More than 10,000 protesters have been arrested. There is, as you were saying, Araxia, currently an unprecedented communications blockade. Simple to say, no Wi-Fi, no way to communicate outside of the country, you know, person to person. There have been protests in every single province in Iran, hundreds of protests. And I know many of you at home are asking, why are there protests here, though? Well, it's simple. First, many Americans simply just care about others. Second, Los Angeles is home to the largest Iranian population outside of Iran. People are worried about their family members still there. There's a long opposition to the current Iranian government. This latest, though, it started a couple of weeks ago over rampant inflation. Take a look at this. Eating has become unaffordable. People have stopped buying cooking oil. Think about that. The price of chicken, the price of gas, incredibly high. Some items have just gone from shelves altogether. Stores have had to shut down. We are talking about inflation rates around 40%. President Donald Trump says he's looking at some very strong options. That's a quote, putting many Americans in a difficult spot. You know, protesters saying they are against military action in Iran, but also against government repression in Iran. Back to you.
And, you know, something that we've seen not only here with local protesters, but also all over the world, many of the demonstrators have a picture or they're chanting the name of Reza Pahlavi. If you can explain who he is for those who are unfamiliar with the history of Iran.
Yeah, you know, interesting. So his name is probably one of the most mainstream names, right, when it comes to Iranian opposition of the current regime. He was named Crown Prince at 7 years old. He's been living in exile here in the United States. He is self-declared Shah of Iran. It's interesting, though, you know, because I was looking at that, watching protesters chant his name, yelling out, long live the Shah. It's been unexpected for many, to say the least. I think that's fair to say, because Iranians have largely been, you could say, split, divided on him, and that's mostly due to memories of his father's reign. So that's been interesting to watch.
So in comparing the 1979 revolution to what is taking place, many will say this is a revolution. These are not just protests. The difference being in 79, there was someone who became the leader. They had a leader in mind. At this point, Reza Pahlavi is someone they are supporting, but not necessarily someone who will step into that role.
That's the biggest question. That's the biggest part that's been interesting to watch, is that I think people are happy about having a loud presence of opposition, right? A name that others know, but not necessarily saying they want him to be the leader.
Right.
All right, we'll see what happens as we continue to monitor the unrest there and monitor local protests here. Thank you so much, Brooke.
All right, in the meantime, let's talk about our weather conditions that just don't feel like it's supposed to be January when we talk about some very warm temperatures in the afternoon. And it's because of this offshore flow. You can tell by the arrows where the wind is coming from, that northeasterly direction. And that offshore wind, gusty at times, especially below the canyons and passes, really clears out the cloud cover. We don't have a marine layer, and it's also helping to warm us up all the way to the coast. You can tell where that ridge of high pressure is at, the storm track well to our north up into Canada, and this ridge will stay put for a while, it looks like, at least through the weekend, even through the better part of next week, and possibly into next weekend. Temperatures are going to be well above average, 70s and 80s this afternoon, and some 15 degrees, even some areas 18 degrees above normal. Right now it's already warmed up to 74 in Oxnard, 72 in downtown LA, 71 in Santa Monica and Corona, to that 69 in Palm Springs. Out in in the low desert, 79, nearly 80 there, 67 in the high desert areas to that 57 up at Big Bear. Yes, they're making plenty of snow, though, so you can still get your snow fun up at our local resorts. 73 along our coast, 80 for downtown LA, upper 70s, nearing 80 for the valleys and the Inland Empire. We'll talk more about the extended outlook coming up. My complete forecast. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. So U.S. Marshals are now helping in the search for actor Timothy Busfield. Authorities in New Mexico issued an arrest warrant 3 days ago accusing him of sexually abusing 11-year-old twin boys. The alleged abuse reportedly began in 2022 with the boys meeting Busfield on a TV set where he worked as a director. The 68-year-old actor is facing 2 counts of criminal sexual contact of a minor and a single count of child abuse. Busfield acted in the movie Field of Dreams and on the TV show The West Wing.
The Westminster Mall has been closed for business, but provided a field day for vandals and taggers. Unfortunately, we'll tell you how police are responding.
And Coco is getting Olympic fever.
Olympic fever for sure. We're 2 years away from the Olympics here in LA, but starting tomorrow, you can register for tickets. We'll tell you everything you need to know.
The recently closed Westminster Mall has become a favorite target of taggers and other vandals. The more than 50-year-old mall has been boarded up since before Christmas, but people are breaking into it to explore or to leave their mark in the empty 2-level shopping center that once was a community destination. Dozens of social media videos showcase the graffiti and the vandalism inside, which police say has greatly increased over the last few weeks. Over the weekend, police tried to crack down on all the trespassing.
We arrested 30 different people for various crimes, from vandalism to theft to different warrants, drug arrests, trespassing, all of the above. A lot of people grew up in this area, even for a lot of our officers. Just to see it get to this, and we don't like seeing it. At the end of the day, we're going to do everything we can to make it better.
Westminster PD says it's working with several management companies handling security for the mall to add fencing and security cameras to stop the trespassing.
Here in Los Angeles, all eyes turning to 2028 Summer Games. If you're thinking about buying tickets, the first step to do, what you need to do that is, begins tomorrow.
This is exciting, and Coco McAvoy is live in Inglewood with more. Coco?
Good morning. That's right. First step is tomorrow already. I can't believe it. So excited for the Olympics, though we're 2 years away. It's coming up quicker than you think. So here's what you need to know. Let's take a look at some video here. The Olympics will start on July 14th through July 30th of 2028. Here in LA, the 2028 Olympics will be the largest games in history, with more than 11,000 athletes across 51 sports. Opening ceremonies will be held here at SoFi Stadium and the LA Memorial Coliseum. Here's the registration info. Anyone can register for tickets, but LA locals get first dibs on time slots to buy tickets. That means you must have a zip code matching a credit card's billing address in LA, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino, or Ventura counties for the California events. Locals can access tickets early from April 2nd to April 6th of this year if they register for the ticket draw by March 18th. Single tickets will start at $28. So for more information, head to LA28.org. That's where you're going to want to go to find out all the information about registering for tickets. Registration is going to open tomorrow at 7 a.m. Reporting live this morning, I'm Coco McAvoy. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Coco, thank you.
Thank you, Coco. Exciting times. In the meantime, there is this to show you. This was an emotional and really a full circle performance for one U.S. Olympic skater who lost his parents in last year's Potomac plane crash. Maxim Nemov paid tribute to them during this figure skating championship performance. There he is. He is one of 16 skaters selected to the U.S. team. He's headed to the Winter Olympics in Milan. He says the games were one of the last things that he actually spoke about with his parents before he died. 28 other athletes were on board the American Airlines flight when it collided with a military helicopter, and there were no survivors. The Winter Olympics begin next month in Milan.
Oh,
wow.
So emotional. What a performance. All right, there is good news. If you're going to see the famous Firefall at Yosemite next month, this year, you'll not need a reservation. The Firefall is a natural phenomenon that happens for a few days every February. It's an optical illusion created by sunlight hitting Yosemite's Horsetail Fall in just the right way, creating what looks like a fall of fire. The park has required reservations for the last 3 years, but just remember, viewing is not guaranteed if you go. All the natural conditions like water flow, sun angle, and clear skies all have to come together for you to see this. So go to the park's website for details on how seeing the Firefall might happen if you're lucky.
Oh my gosh, it's unreal, isn't it? Yeah.
I've never seen it in real life, but I would want it. All right, coming up, remember that bear that was finally evicted from underneath that home in Altadena? Well, it seems he may have moved into another home close by.
Oh no. Plus, Disneyland reaches a mind-blowing milestone. The number of people who visited the happiest place on Earth.